Good evening. From the studio of Blowing the Doors Off, I want to welcome you to night one of the 2020 presidential Zoom debates. Our participants this evening are Democratic nominee and former Vice President Joe Biden and Republican nominee President Donald Trump. There will be two parts to this debate. I will ask a list of questions about coronavirus, and then we will do a rapid-fire round from a list of submitted questions by American voters. There is only one rule tonight, which is that there are no rules. Grab some popcorn at home, because this is going to be entertaining. Mr. President, thank you for joining us.
Great to be in this wonderful state. So many friends, so much success, and we love being here.
All right. And Mr. Vice President, thank you.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me, just personally, just you and me. It means a great deal to me.
All right, that was weird. Moving on to my first question. What message do you have for Americans about the current pandemic? Let's start with President Trump.
Oh, yeah, we have great advice. We have great people. We have great people. Yeah, we have great doctors. We have great medical people, laboratory people.
Not sure if that answered the question. Mr. Biden.
We're going to get through this, but we should be listening to the experts, the health experts.
Now is the time to heed the timeless advice from Teddy Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick. End of quote. I promise you, the president has a big stick.
Perhaps the largest stick in the world.
We don't need a cheerleader, Mr. President. We need a president, Mr. President.
Call me Donald. Yes, Mr. President. I can't do it, sir. That's respect for the office, right? Maybe it's respect for me.
I have no idea what that was. Moving on. What action will you take in combating the coronavirus going forward? Let's start with Mr. Biden.
Quarantine and isolation protocols for those who've been exposed. People aren't waiting in lines for miles and miles long in baking hot cars for drive-through nasal swabs for the fun of it.
Lots of fun.
Mr. Biden, many Americans are concerned about your cognitive capability for the job of president. Have you taken a test to prove them otherwise?
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
I took a test, like a memory question. It's you go person, woman, man, camera, TV. If you get it in order, you get extra points. Now, Joe should take that test.
Person, woman, man,
TV,
camera.
Wrong order.
Come on, man.
All right, next question. What have the past 4 years told you in terms of what it takes to successfully run the U.S.?
You just have to be a practical person.
That's certainly one way to put it. Mr. Trump, what has helped you over the past 4 years?
Hydroxychloroquine. I take it.
Americans should inject disinfectants into their bodies.
Is that so? I thought you said we should be listening to health experts.
Frankly, overrated.
Mr. Vice President, it seems like you're switching up a lot of your political stances.
I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
All right, maybe we should take a few minutes for a break, maybe rehydrate or take a nap if you want to re-energize. Because something's clearly going on here. All right, well, while the former vice president gets some rest, I guess we can focus on you, Mr. President. You have the floor to speak about the coronavirus.
We're at war. In a true sense, we're at war. And we're fighting an invisible enemy. And I feel it, actually. I'm a wartime president. This is a war. But I think it's going to be a tremendous day when we win this war, and we will win the war. We want to win the war with as few, if you look at it, just deaths as possible.
And Mr. Biden seems to have woken up.
Welcome to the world, Joe. You having a good time, Joe?
Your response to Trump's remarks on the coronavirus, Mr. Biden.
Now it's almost July, and it seems like our wartime president has surrendered, waved the white flag, and left the battlefield.
I see you're both really going with this wartime analogy. Next question. Experts have talked about the challenges that COVID and quarantining have had on relationships. Mr. President, what has Melania's response been to spending more time with you?
Get me off! Get me off of this stage!
Okay then. Now it's time for the rapid fire round. These questions have been submitted by voters around the country. First, Bort from Springfield asks, could you each speak about your running mates and your relationship with them? Let's start with the former Vice President Biden.
You know, Barack and I, we've been through a lot together in these 4 years. And we learned about one another, a lot about one another. And one of the things I learned about Barack is the enormity of his heart.
Mr. Biden, you do realize you're running with Kamala Harris.
I made a mistake. I was wrong. Kamala, as you all know, is smart. She's tough. She's experienced. She's a proven fighter for the backbone of this country.
And Mr. Trump, if you could speak about Vice President Pence.
I've never liked him, never liked him. He never liked me, I never liked him. I see him in the White House. I said, what are you doing here?
So then, who will be your running mate for November?
The monument to Robert E. Lee.
Well, I guess he'll do just as much as Pence. Next question. This one from Tony Snell from Montana. Who would win in a checkers match between you two?
Look, I think the one thing the president doesn't want to do from the very beginning is face me, because I will beat him. Period. Period.
They will not win. They will not win at all.
And I can hardly wait to compare my cognitive capability to the cognitive capability of the man I'm running against.
We are unstoppable. We are unbeatable.
Are you ready?
We're very, very ready for this.
I didn't know you were both so competitive in checkers.
There is no one like us on earth.
Now, that's certainly true. Moving on, Mr. Biden, there's recently been speculation that you have some side chicks. Is that true?
Things that are out there that people, I'm sorry, I didn't turn off. Ashley, I'm on. I got to call you back, baby. I love you.
All right, well, that clears that up, Mr. Biden. Don't you think, though, that that's harmful to your relationship with your wife, Jill?
Yeah, I think I'd have the same attitude did I not sleep with a community college professor every night.
Sleepy Joe.
All right. Next question is from Raisin Kane from...
What the hell kind of a name? Raisin like the fruit?
Well, yes, I guess like the fruit. Raisin Kane asks, how do you sleep at night knowing that the radical left agenda plans on destroying our American way of life by confiscating our guns, defunding the police, applying their disastrous liberal policies, and allowing anarchists to loot every town, city, and suburb in America?
Raisin, I think you're great. I like you, Raisin Kane. We can't do that.
Mr. Biden, and you? He's sleeping just fine, it seems like. Next up is Allison Becker from Alaska, who asks, Mr. Trump, and I'm going to regret this, what is your favorite position in bed?
We could hit him from the back, from the side, from all over.
And then to follow up, they want to know if there's anything you're thinking about while you do it.
I dream about Biden.
Lee Braun from New York asks, how will you protect endangered animals as president?
So gravely injured that they're not going to make it, and if they do make it, it's not going to be a pleasant life, okay? You over, boom. You over, boom. These are animals.
Not sure if Lee Braun will like that answer. Mr. Biden.
I was one of the sponsors of the Endangered Species Act, and one of the other things we've done is we in the state of Delaware, for example, set up the coastal zone legislation, which means that they can't build any factories or anything within 1 mile of the estuary of the Delaware River and the Atlantic Ocean and the Chesapeake. And so the whole point of this is that we can do a lot to deal with endangered species.
Mr. Biden, if you could face the camera.
One of the things I would like to raise is that we have to deal with this on an international.
Lou Malnati asks if you support criminalizing incest in Alabama.
I've got a sister who's the love of my life.
Oh, she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
That concludes the rapid fire round of questions. You each can now conclude with your closing remarks.
Look, folks, I just want to conclude by saying one thing. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay? Oh, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Anyway, look.
All right, that's time. President Trump.
I don't even know what I'm doing, sir. What the hell did I do this for?
The president has done a horrible job. He has done a disgraceful job. It is a shame how bad he is.
Wait, I don't think too well.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. Not because of time or anything. I just think that's enough. Remember, register to vote today at vote.org if you haven't already. Thank you to both our candidates, and we'll see you on night 2 of the presidential Zoom debates. From Blowing the Doors Off, this is Ethan Gomberg, and good night.